Digital Detox, the world of AI, and who really owns the pet. We gonna get into it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Aundrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about AI. And then we're going to be talking about a Reddit post about a family fighting over a dog. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. I just want to let everybody know that this is an episode that'll be airing on the 12th. We will be airing episodes on the 16th and the 19th. And then we're going to take the rest of the year off for the holidays. We're going to enjoy ourselves and then come back January 6th for an episode. So we just want to let everybody know that we're going to be taking a little break. Don't worry, you're going to get this episode, the normal episode for Tuesday, and then another Sibling Happy Hour. Then we're going to take a little break.
Yes.
It's a break for us, but we are feverishly recording content. So if you go on our YouTube page, even though we'll be on vacation, there'll still be original content on the YouTube page. So if you miss us a little bit, you can check us out there. But that's what's going on because we need a break. And we're going to get into why Jay needs a break in the second segment. But Jay, there's something that we need to talk about.
Oh, Lord.
That we talked about last episode.
Okay.
And there was a squatter situation. And there's more to the story.
The more you send me on this, the angrier I get about this situation. If anybody remembers last episode, I have a personal grievance with squatters. Not that I've ever had a squatter situation myself. It's just the violation. It's such a violation of people's personal space. Like, get into how this lady is truly the worst.
All right. So at first I had just read the story, but DC News did some investigative journalism. All right. This is what journalism is.
Yeah.
When you investigate and you tell both sides of the story.
Yes.
So they actually got an interview with the squatter. And I had seen a clip of the interview. And the squatter had been saying, hey, look, I done made some payments through Zelle, some to Apple Pay, some were late, but she kept sending me an invoice. I'm a tenant. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I may have jumped too quickly on the landlord's side and jumped down the squatter's throat when clearly the squatter is saying, hey, I've been paying, they've been giving me an invoice, and I'm the one who filed paperwork with the courts, not them. Till investigative journalism did some more investigative journalism and found out that this is not the first time that she has done this. This is the third or fourth time that she has done something like this. She owes one company $50,000 in back rent. Not only that, she bought a car, paid the down payment, and didn't make any more payments. This person is a literal leech.
Yeah, a serial criminal.
Yes, a literal leech.
Career criminal. Everything, I am positive that everything this person has been obtained through some sort of scam or deceit. Like, please, if you see an application from this woman. Immediately throw it in the garbage.
Well, she went by a different name back in the
Of
day.
course. Of course.
And plus she booked it on Airbnb. Why did she book it on Airbnb? Because she got so many evictions on her record that she can't. She not only has evictions on her record, she couldn't possibly have good credit.
No.
Like, couldn't possibly have good credit.
No.
So she can't get an apartment even if she wanted to. She had to go the Airbnb route to get in. And just to repeat it, she's repeatedly done this and takes no responsibility.
None.
I saw in the interview.
None.
No responsibility.
None.
And I was like, oh, she's Trumpian.
Yeah.
That's
just the lack of accountability. And when confronted with these things by the reporter, oh no, that's not accurate. That's not No. What you don't understand is these are public record. These court records, they're public record. Anyone can get these records. Anyone can simply search your name and find these documents and find these records. And they're not incorrect. They're not inaccurate. They're court filings. There are liens and judgments against you. It's not just the evictions. There are also several liens against her. Like, this is a person who is just a career scammer and knows exactly what she's doing, knows the law, and is purposefully preying on people. So Airbnb needs to completely drop her, like ban her from the site. Any site, I don't care what it is, needs to ban her from the site.
ban her for everything. Ban her.
Just ban her from everything.
Block her old Blockbuster membership. Just ban her from everything.
I don't care. Pinterest, Etsy, I don't care what it is. Everybody.
Take away her Boston Market, frequent flyer, frequent user cards. Take away everything, huh?
Everything got to go. Everything. She needs to lose everything. There needs to be no place that this person can hide.
You know what the kicker for me was during this video? I don't know how much of it you watched, but the kicker for me is that the news group saw in the crack of the door because she wouldn't answer any more questions after the reporter was calling her out on her lies.
Yeah.
Saw that she was running an oil and candle business. Oil?
Yeah.
And candle?
Essential oils.
Essential oils
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please. Please. Get an actual job.
I mean, she's an entrepreneur.
No, an entrepreneur. No, you're not. You're a scammer and you're a criminal. And you need to be called out, Shadija Romero. You're a scammer and you're a criminal.
First of all, I knew that she wasn't right because I ain't never heard Shadija at all. Oh, the thing that I hate, though, because we got family members. She's a Bowie State graduate, though. And running a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Trying to save the world and scamming at the same damn time.
You sent me the website for that nonprofit. I wanted to spam the contact us so badly. Like, you don't have it. I hope the namesake for this nonprofit, who was one of the founders, I hope that they can see now what kind of person they've gotten into business with, and that this is, I mean, and it was her like narcissism and like
lack of accountability.
Lack of accountability.
Yeah.
But it was more of like this entitlement. No, I'm a tenant. No, you're not. And you know what you're doing because you've done it several times before. You know you don't pay your bills.
Don't pay the bills.
You know you have no intention of paying your bills.
She was like, well, one time the eviction, it was during COVID, and money wasn't coming in.
Everybody
was doing that. And also, I know for a fact in this area, because I live here, that a lot of buildings, rental buildings, were working with people that were out of work or not getting money through COVID.
Yeah.
I know specifically.
Explain doing it back in 2018.
You can't.
Right.
Because you knew what you was doing. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I kept sending my sister this is because I knew she was going to get agitated. It was
Mm-hmm.
literally me. Was not literally. I need to stop saying literally. Figuratively, it was me going back to when we were kids, putting my finger in her face saying, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Because I knew she was
Mm-hmm.
going to get agitated. But
Yeah.
I specifically did it to get her mind off of different stuff that she had going on because she needed a
Yes.
break. I was
Yes.
being a
Yes.
jerk for a reason.
Yes.
Jay, you are in the process of doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this thing called a new wave digital detox, and it's
Yes.
gaining traction. Now, this is a little bit different than people going cold turkey. We're not going to do social media anymore. This is a digital detox or intentional disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this from the Wall Street Journal. An article, basically, the core argument of the article is that there's a growing share of people saying that they overuse their phones and are experimenting with limits, but they're not abandoning their devices. They're trying to use them more deliberately. So
Yeah.
the Washington Street Journal described this new ways of digital detox behavior of people muting their notifications, setting app limits, and taking short social media breaks, or even going on no phone vacations. This was
Mm-hmm.
driven all by anxiety and distraction and burnout from constant connectivity. Now, I know for me personally, I have disconnected the notifications to the Instagram
Yeah.
because I don't know what's going on, but it's a good thing. But we are getting more views and likes on our reels, and I'm getting the notifications for those. And I don't like
Mm-hmm.
my phone buzzing all day long. So
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people have been a little pissed off because I haven't been answering DMs like I have been in the past. But I had to disconnect the notifications for not only that, for other things. I know that you just told me before we hopped up on here, you ain't been on social media in 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was intentional. You know, I just finished my degree, but I was in the thick of like finals, and it was a lot of things going on, and it was too much of a distraction. So the app is still there. I'm still getting the notifications. I see it. I see the deal. I'm intentionally not logging in and checking because it's too much of a distraction, and I just needed to disconnect in order to focus on things that are more important right now.
See, you do it differently because I can't see the notifications. I have to answer them. I don't,
Hmm.
it's something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if that's OCD or whatever, but that's
Yeah.
something. I see, I can't have notifications on my phone. So I just turn them off.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I still see it. I see that I have DMs. I just I just am not checking them. So like, yeah, I see that I have text messages. I see them. But
You ain't
yeah,
getting to them. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not getting to them. I'm getting to them, but just not as quickly, right? Like I'm not immediately available in a way that I have been in the past because I have different priorities right now, and so I just need to focus on that.
Well, it feels like that this article, the Wall Street Journal article, is really touching on a lot of both your and my actions recently because it emphasizes that this is less an anti tech revolt and more
Hmm.
of a recalibration. Users want
Yeah.
technology to feel more purposeful and less compulsive rather than disappear from their lives. So
Right.
people still want to get on social media and still do these things, but
Right.
just not at the rate of which that they were doing them and the fact that it was controlling their lives. I know for a fact. I was sitting there watching the Diddy documentary, and when it got to parts where, like, okay, this is a rehash, I know what's going to go on here, I know this whole story, I was on my phone. It was
Yeah.
in the background, and when something new came on, I would change my attention, but I was on my phone, and I was like, yo, let me be present and be in the
Hmm.
moment.
Hmm.
And so I've been intentionally, like when I'm hanging out with friends and things of that nature, putting my phone away. It goes
Yeah.
in my pocket and does not come out again.
Yeah. 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 It just shouldn't it shouldn't be so compulsory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to check my phone. I have to check these messages. I have to check these DMs. No, they can wait. It can wait. You don't have to be immediately available, even if you are available. Just because I'm not doing anything doesn't mean I'm available.
Right.
Doesn't mean I have the bandwidth to be available. So it's just being more purposeful about when you engage online or
Yeah.
digitally. Yeah.
But this is a new thing, what I'm about to talk about now. So there are digital free vacations and detox retreats. And what these are, because they've been spiking recently, are travel brands are now actively marketing trips promising help with unplugging from work, email, and social media. And
Yeah.
corporate trend reports cited alongside this coverage find that a measurable minority of travelers now intentionally avoid news, limit device time, or log off social platforms while on holidays compared to previous years. So I know
Yeah.
this is something that I and you have talked about on this podcast a lot, how people don't take vacations. Even when they go away, they're still working. And this is
Yeah.
a concentrated effort to, I'm going to unplug.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's part of a capitalist society, a corporate culture, right? It's like we have this feeling of that we always have to be connected and we have to always be available. But what that does is just lead to more anxiety, more stress, more burnout, affects your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health. You have to take time to just be by yourself or with your family or with your friends and just be yourself, like outside of who you are digitally, who you are professionally, just be
Present.
yourself
Yeah,
and
just be
present
present.
in the moment and just experience, I don't know, joy.
Well, yeah. Well, so what the article is basically, to summarize the article and what it's basically saying, is that this is not a total abstinence, like I said, but it's more of an experiment with boundaries, right? No phone dinners, app-free weekends, or social media Sabbath days. All of this is to reduce stress and regain focus. And for tech companies, tech and media companies, the Wall Street Journal article suggested that this is a strategic opening, right? That products and platforms that help people control attention, avoid endless scrolling, or build in, things that eliminate mindless use may gain favor, especially to this detox mindset spreads. And I
Yeah.
know that it's spreading because I know some people who haven't been on social media in more than a month. I know
Yeah.
somebody close to me who hasn't been on social media since September, and they were just like, I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I get it. I understand it. I know a lot of people who are just like, oh, I don't watch the news. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I get it.
Yeah.
The news is horrible,
It's really terrible.
but you got to pay attention to what's going on. Because if you don't, that's how they sneak things in underneath and get you. I'm just letting you know. That's how they get you.
That's
So
how they get you.
You got to pay a little attention.
Just a
but
little
I
bit.
understand, you want to take a little detox every now and
Yes.
then.
Yes.
That's okay.
That's fair.
That is
That's fair. Yeah.
But you specifically have been on a detox for about a year and a half. And the reason why, if anybody has been following this podcast at all, is because my sister has been going to grad school.
Yes.
Well, she just finished.
I'm
And
done.
she's about to graduate next week because I'm going to be there. And Jay, tell everybody what it is that you went to school for again.
I have my master's in data science and analytics.
That's right.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about AI. And I'm going to be asking my sister questions. I'm going to be interviewing my sister. And we're going to get into that next. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud to be interviewing my sister, a graduate, master's degree. Now, I am the least educated out of all the siblings because both of my siblings now have master's degrees. And I'm cool with that My sister got her master's degree, and I'm going to be down there in Atlanta celebrating with her. But I don't know shit about AI. I mean, I do. I'm more techie than most,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be asking my sister, because this is part of what she did when she was in school. Mm-hmm. And because she's given me such great advice on help on using these AI tools to help better the show, be asking her some questions about AI. So the first thing I want to do is say, Jay, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for answering these questions for us.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
All right. All right. So let's start with first. All right. And we're going to try and have base level conversation and my sister not be a complete science nerd.
Yeah.
When people hear AI, they always think Terminator 2. They think robots. They think taking over the world. In the real world, what is AI actually doing today?
Yeah. So that's exactly right. Like a lot of people still think of AI as robots from science fiction movies. They're these machines that become sentient somehow through our own misadventures, and they take over the world and all of that. Okay. The reality is much, much less dramatic, y'all. And it's actually a lot more practical. So most of the AI that we interact with today, it lives inside software, right? It's not a robot. It doesn't have a body. It lives inside software. And all it does is help us search faster, write faster, decide faster, and automate small tasks that would normally take us a lot of time. So, for example, think about the last time you searched for something on Google, right? And got the exact answer you needed, like immediately. Mm-hmm. Or the last time, like, say, for example, your phone auto corrected a word. Now, sometimes, listen, Apple, I meant hell, not hail or heck. Okay. They'll be auto correcting my cuss words. But just like the last time your phone auto corrected a word, or like it'll suggest a reply to a text, or how spam gets filtered out of your email. Mm-hmm. This is all things that are powered by AI. Mm-hmm. So it's not thinking in a human way. So you don't have to worry about AI taking over the world. All it's doing is recognizing patterns and making predictions based on what it's seen before. So when you have tools like ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, these are tools, they're not artificial intelligence, not really. What they are large language models. That just means that they are trained on an enormous amount of written text so that they can recognize how language works and so that they can learn about a bunch of different topics. So it doesn't understand ideas or meanings the way people do. It just predicts the next word the way your phone predicts your next text. It's just at a much more advanced level. Okay. That's all. Yeah. It's not thinking, it's predicting.
So not the robots. All right.
It's not a robot.
Because I thought it was T100 and T1000, and it was
no.
I thought Skynet was right around the corner.
It's really not.
Okay.
Yes.
In your specific program, what did you learn that surprised you about how AI really works behind the scenes?
I think the thing that surprised me the most is just how much learning is based on just exposure to massive amounts of information. Like it's so much, terabytes and petabytes of information.
I don't even know what petabytes is.
Millions and millions of gigabytes, like huge amounts of information. You could think of it like 500 billion pages of written text, like huge amounts of information. So these systems don't know facts the way people do. Like I said, they're learning patterns from reading huge amounts of material, books, articles, websites, all of that, right? And so, and I mean huge. Like when I say huge, it's like on a scale that it's really hard for the human brain to even picture how much information is being used to train these models to help you with daily tasks. So like a simple way to think about it is people learn through repetition, right? Mm-hmm. So if you only ever hear one song once, you probably won't remember it. But if you hear it a dozen times, you start to recognize every beat. AI learns the same way. So instead of hearing something a dozen times, it's learning patterns from millions or billions of amounts of data. Mm. So like, it just surprised me that the AI is not just sitting on a giant list of stored answers. It's not pulling facts off a shelf like a librarian. It's generating responses in the moment based on patterns it learned during training. And that's why it can explain things in so many different styles and in so many different ways, and also why it can sometimes be wrong in a way that sounds super confident.
Right. Loud wrong.
Yes.
All right. So you've kind of given a few examples, like helping us write better, helping us do things better. But can you give more of like an everyday example of AI that most people use without even realizing it?
Yeah. Like the crazy thing is that AI is so deeply embedded in our everyday life that you are using it without even realizing it. So for example, if you have Face ID on your phone, that's an AI recognizing your face. If your email has a spam filter, like I said earlier, that's AI spotting patterns that look like junk mail. When Spotify or Netflix recommends a song or a show or a movie that ends up being exactly what you wanted, that's because AI is learning your habits. Like even things like Google Maps, Waze, Uber, like these things like rerouting you around traffic, that's AI analyzing real-time data from thousands of other drivers. When you order from Uber and the pricing updates and the arrival time prediction, tells you when your car's at, that's all AI. When you go onto a website and there's a chat bot to answer questions about whatever the product or the service is, that's AI. It's already become part of just how things work now. Like that, it's not futuristic. Like it's already deeply embedded in the infrastructure of our daily life.
You touched on this a little bit already by saying that, AI is learning basically by all of this massive amount of information.
Yeah.
When people hear terms like machine learning or data analytics, how do those actually connect? What role does data play in making AI smarter or smart?
Right. So this is the analogy that I use. Data is the fuel. Machine learning is the engine. Data analytics is the dashboard. So if you put bad fuel into a car, it doesn't matter how powerful the engine is, you're not going to go very far. In the same way, AI is only as good as the data it learns from. So the data is the foundation, right? Machine learning is what allows AI to detect those patterns in the data. It's the actual algorithm that it's using to detect those patterns in the data. So like, for example, it might learn that people who buy diapers also often buy baby wipes. It doesn't understand why a baby needs wipes. It just sees that those two things keep showing up together in the data. And then data analytics is what we use as people to look at that same data and ask deeper questions. Like, why is this happening? What does this mean? What should we do about it? That's where the human judgment comes in, right? So like, you only know you're speeding when you look at that dashboard and see the speedometer. You only know you need to check your engine when you look, that check engine light comes on. It's the dashboard that gives us all the insights, right? So a really good like example is in healthcare, right? So doctors collect data from patient records. Machine learning can help spot early warning signs for diseases. But the doctors use data analytics and experience to decide the treatment plan. So all three of these things are working together. Yeah.
So going back to that original question, people shouldn't fear AI like robots in Terminator.
No.
People should fear the people that are programming the AI, because if they're not programming the AI correctly, the AI can give out bad data.
It could give bad information, right?
Bad
So
information, yeah.
yeah, so
That's what data is information. I said it right.
yeah, so it's just like learning from a bad teacher leads to bad habits, right? If AI is trained on bias or incomplete data, it's going to make biased or inaccurate decisions. So, yes, data quality matters just as much as the technology. And there are a lot of, checks and balances in place in terms of like, how do we use AI ethically? How do we use AI safely? There are people whose whole job is to make sure that they audit these systems to ensure that they're safe and they're being used ethically. Yeah.
All right. One thing that's happening out here in the world with the rise of AI. I've been on AI since chat first came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But what people are experiencing is fear. And one of the main fears is that a lot of people think AI is going to replace jobs.
Yeah.
From what you've learned, what jobs is AI actually good at, and where do humans still do better?
Yeah. So AI is really good at things that are repetitive, structured, and rule based. So that includes things like scheduling appointments, answering common customer service or user questions, scanning documents, things like that. It's fast, it doesn't get tired, it can work nonstop. That's where you can put it to work automating some repetitive task, and it's perfect for that. But humans are still needed, okay? Because humans still dominate, right, in areas that require emotional intelligence, creativity, ethical reasoning, leadership, complex judgment and decision making. Like, you wouldn't want an AI delivering difficult medical news to a family. You wouldn't want AI deciding prison sentences or handling crisis negotiation without human oversight.
Well, I might want AI handling prison sentences, because some of these judges out here is a little crazy, and they throwing the hammer down when the hammer don't need to be thrown down.
But then you run into, okay, AI is being trained on massive amounts of data, right? If the data is biased because our actual system is biased, right? Like certain people are criminalized more often than others, then AI starts to learn that these people are criminals.
Okay. All right.
So you don't want that.
Yep. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Right. I mean, so yeah, people being worried about AI taking over jobs. You don't. We've seen this before, like historically, right? It's
Well,
just the technology changing.
Some of the things you're describing, there are people that do those jobs that are absolutely going to be replaced by AI. You don't need a scheduler anymore.
Right.
You may not
But
need an administrative assistant anymore because you can have AI answer phones, answer emails, do the scheduling for you, file if the files are digital and
mhm.
not physical, file and organize your files for you.
Yeah. We
So
also don't have rental store clerks, video rental clerks anymore, right? Because everybody's streaming everything.
that is true.
But the only thing that technology is doing is reshaping work. It's not eliminating human relevance. As soon as one job is rendered obsolete by technology, new jobs that technology forces into existence are being created.
I like what
So
you
that,
said there. Isn't eliminating human relevancy. It
yeah,
is eliminating jobs, but not human relevancy. It's
right.
just moving the human from one spot.
Yeah,
We got something else for you over here. If you're
yeah,
willing to be trained and learn something new and come out of your old way of thinking, we
yes.
got this new job over here for you, and you're probably going to end up making more money.
Yeah, the challenge is just helping people adapt
Hmm.
through education and upskilling. Like, but just because this job can now be automated through AI, well, it ended up creating three more jobs that one of them is oversight over that AI. One is, like it ends up creating other jobs. So you're still very, very necessary people. Like it's just reshaping the landscape. That's all.
Human beings are necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Besides,
Yes.
the robots get their fuel off of humans. We're
Yes.
needed to be in existence. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. All right. From a
Exactly. Like the Matrix.
just like the Matrix, from a beginner standpoint, if somebody wanted to start exploring AI tools,
Yeah.
you've already kind of explained that we are already using them, but intentionally
Yeah.
exploring AI tools. What's some of the simplest and most practical ways for them to get started?
Yeah. There's so many really, really easy ways to do it. I mean, the first is to like literally just start. Just start using it in everyday life. Ask chat GPT or Copilot or Gemini to help you write an email or to brainstorm, I don't know, as Christmas season, brainstorm gift ideas or plan a trip or to help you study for a test. You don't need to understand how it's built in order to benefit from it, right? Just like you don't need to, most people don't know how the engine works in their car, but they still drive it. Like, and I think it's something with pistons, I think. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
I know
don't
they come
know.
from Detroit because I know
Yeah.
Isaiah was a Piston, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman,
They was definitely, I remember
Detroit
them in the
Pistons.
jerseys. Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah,
remember that. I remember
yeah.
that. But if you do want to like go a little deeper, YouTube has tons of like beginner friendly videos that explain AI and really in like plain language. You can go on course sites like Coursera or DataCamp. They offer like hands-on courses where you can learn in a really, really accessible way. You don't need to come from a technical background. Like a lot of it is about connecting people to AI in an accessible way because it is going to continue to be integrated more, not just in our personal lives, but certainly our professional lives. And
Hmm.
so you need to learn how to use it and how to make it work for you. But yeah, there's so many resources out there, but really honestly, the first way is to just try it. Like if you have an email and you are not 100% sure how to respond to it, drop that email into the chat and then just say, I'm not sure how to respond to it. I want to say something like this. Can you draft a response and see what comes out? Just start. Yeah.
And also, I give you two other practical examples that can work. I used Copilot earlier today on my phone and
Hmm.
didn't realize that there's a button I can actually talk to it and have a
Yeah.
conversation to help walk me through a situation that I had. And the
Yep.
situation is I had a lineup of tasks that I needed to complete by next Tuesday, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, this is what my schedule looks like. And I need to level out these tasks. What are the best times that I could slot to take care of these tasks? And chat did that for me.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can use it for my parents out there, these kids bringing home that difficult homework. Throw
Yes.
that bad boy into Chat GPT and say, explain this to me so that I
Yes.
can explain it to my child. It will
Yes.
give you a step-by-step process on how to do
Yes.
that. It will
Yeah.
actually teach you so
Yes.
that you have the information and help you explain it to your child. So
Yeah.
those are ways AI is here to help us.
Yes.
It's here to help us.
And it's not like an alien that just crash landed on the planet. Like it's here to help us. We created it
Yeah.
to make life easier and more efficient, to help you with these routine tasks so you can focus on bigger things, so you can focus your creativity and your curiosity on bigger things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, looking ahead, this is the final question of this interview segment. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all see me interview people all the time. This is the first time my sister been on the other side of it. But looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of AI? And what concerns should people realistically keep in mind?
Yeah. So the thing that excites me the most is something called Agentic AI. So it's a really fancy way of saying AI systems that go beyond answering simple questions and actually plan and carry out multi-step tasks autonomously.
See, now we get into the robots. That sound
No,
like the robots. That sound like
it's
Jarvis.
it is. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I mean, obviously, I feel like Jarvis had a little level of sentience, a little bit. But like, that is, again, we're not there. So like, y'all don't
Jarvis,
have to worry
ladies and
about
gentlemen,
that.
was Iron Man's AI in his suit. Because
Yes,
some people,
yes.
that's going to go over their head. But go ahead.
Yes. So instead of like asking the AI 10 separate questions, you may eventually be able to give it a goal and let it figure out the steps. So instead of saying like, write me an email or organize my calendar or summarize, my budget, you might be able to say, help me get my small business ready for tax season. And it can assist you across multiple tools. So not only is it able to plan and carry out tasks autonomously, it can use tools in order to do that. Like, like for instance, if you're trying to get ready for tax season, it can pull down the new tax code information and use a calculator in order to get, I don't know how taxes work. I use TurboTax, but it can do it for you, right?
I'm
So
sure TurboTax uses AI.
it absolutely does.
Yes.
So yeah, so that is the coolest thing that is here. There are a lot of AI platforms that are introducing agents, and a lot of people that are building agentic platforms. I had a chance to build a multi-agent chatbot, and it was really cool. So the biggest concern, though, is over trust. Okay? You got to use some discernment. There are literally, if you go on any like AI site, down at the bottom, it'll say, like on ChatGPT, it says, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. AI can sound incredibly confident and the answers be all the way wrong. So like it can reflect, like I said, it can reflect social bias. If it's looking at incarceration rates and it's seeing the high number of Black males being incarcerated for certain things, then it's going to start developing a bias there, right? It can hallucinate details that sound very real. And by hallucinate, that means it just makes stuff up. I have used it, especially if you're using it on the free tier. It will make stuff up. Okay. It'll make up sources. There were those attorneys that got in trouble because it made up legal briefs that didn't exist. Okay. Like it can make stuff up. So you have to have some discernment about what's being generated. When I interact with AI, it is an interaction. I will give it a prompt. It'll give me an output, and I'll say, I'm not so sure about this. I don't think that's right. Isn't this really the issue? And it'll come back, you're absolutely right. This is not going to work because of this, and this. Yeah. So you have to interact with it. Don't just take everything that you get from it at face value. The future isn't, humans versus AI. It's about humans learning to work alongside AI responsibly with judgment and ethics and critical thinking, right? Right? Still firmly in the driver's seat. Just recognizing that we are in the driver's seat. Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my sister. A recent graduate with a master's degree in data analytics and the JJJoJo. What was it again?
Yep. Yes.
It was a lot of stuff.
The official it's a master's of science of analytics. Yes.
She's a master science analytics person.
Sure.
So thank her for coming on the show and explaining AI and helping us learn, because so many people, so many smart people are out there being like, here it come. And I get it. Conspiracy theorists always. Yeah. T2, we about to
Yeah.
get taken over. No.
I mean, there's a whole film, television, book genre, sci-fi genre about AI taking over and destroying humanity. So, like, I get it. When you've been force-fed that, and then you start seeing it become so integrated in your life, everything down to even a smart refrigerator that will look in your fridge and tell you what you need and create a shopping list for you.
And I'm waiting for that.
It's already here.
Goddamn, they got everything. But you know what, though? AI is not going to be the downfall of humanity. I got to end this on a dark note.
Okay.
The downfall of humanity will always be humanity. Jay, went on my favorite website again. Why did I go on the favorite website? Because I wanted something that could get you riled up.
Yeah.
That might get you a little agitated. That also would be kind of funny and was easy. And these Reddit posts are absolutely easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, the next show, the show before we go on our break, is all Reddit posts. That's all it is. So that's what it's going to be. But this one is, am I the asshole for not wanting my parents' name on my dog's identification chip? And just when I read that title, what is your initial response?
Huh? Why is this an issue?
Okay.
It's your dog.
Well, I'm going to get into it. And it starts with, I'm a 17-year-old female.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a 17-year-old female, begged for a dog for 8 years. My parents, 51-year-old male, 49-year-old female, always said no. This year, my grandmother surprised me and got me a dog specifically for me, not for my parents. Since I got her, I've paid for everything: vets visits, vaccines, food, toys, grooming, collar, leash, training, and all supplies. My parents do not pay for her care at all. They sometimes pet her, but that's it. About half the time I'm around my parents, they are emotionally abusive, and control is a big issue in our house. Now they're demanding that their name be put on the dog's microchip instead of my grandmother's. I want my grandmother's name on it because she bought the dog for me. I pay for everything. My parents don't want a dog in the first place, and they aren't financially responsible. They told me that if I don't obey everything that they say without question, they will rehome my dog. I told them I will follow reasonable rules, but I won't agree to unreasonable control over a dog that they didn't pay for. We argued about legal ownership, and I said, from what I was told, the person who pays for the dog is the one on the record, and the one that's on the records is usually the legal owner, which would be me and my grandma. I also said they legally can't just take my dog and give it away, and that if they did, the law would allow me to take them to small claims court. I wasn't threatening them, just explaining the law. My dad said he don't give a damn about the law and that he can do whatever he wants because he's the head of the household. During the argument, he stormed towards me and I put my hands up. And backed up against the wall because I was scared. He screamed at me for being defensive. I said I put my hands up because I don't trust him and I thought he was going to hit me. That made him even angrier. And then he said, I swear to God, I will make your life a living hell if you don't listen to and obey every word I say. After that, he said he would rehome my dog if I didn't obey everything. Now he's also trying to force me to put the name on the microchip. I don't want to because if their name is on it, they could legally give my dog away and I have no rights, even though my grandma bought the dog for me and I pay for everything. For context, I have anxiety, panic attacks, and depression symptoms, but my parents won't take me to the doctor. My dog helps me feel safe. They have isolated me before by taking away my devices and not letting me leave or talk to anyone. They have threatened to do it again, including cutting off my internet, which I use for school. I feel like they're trying to take legal control of my dog to use her to control me. So, am I the asshole for refusing to put my parents' name on my dog's identification chip and wanting my grandma's name on it instead?
So this is a situation where you have parents that say things like, my kid went no contact and I have no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly why. You know exactly why. I feel so much for this young girl. It may I really don't know the answer for this because the fact of the matter is she's underage, she lives in their household. There's not a whole lot that she can do. I honestly grandma put her in a I mean, I get the sentiment, like you wanted to give her something that she would have been begging for, but you also got to understand the context in which she's living and like how much of there's not a cluster F that it
Yeah.
would cause for her to have this dog. And it may be a situation where she, instead of giving her parents the satisfaction of having that power over that dog, of rehoming the dog until she, and temporarily until she can get out, find her own place, or find another living situation when she becomes an adult and can take her dog back. It might be a situation like that. Like, but there's really no good, there's really no good answer because she is a child and they're legally responsible for her and they have they have the rights in this situation. And they will absolutely use that dog against her.
It looks like it from what she's
Yeah.
describing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to. And I think it might just be a situation where you cannot allow them to have that leverage. And so if that means grandma has to hold that dog until you're able to get that dog back, then that might be what it has to be.
So you stole my idea. Grandma has to take the dog until I'm legally 18.
Yeah.
And then I got to find some way to get the hell out of the house. And that's, I feel for her because, man, we were fortunate. And this is what I mean by that. Our parents always said, you can always come home.
Yeah.
You can always come home. Now, nobody wants to live with their parents. And my parents were always very hip and young
Yeah. Yes.
and gave us freedom.
Yeah.
I am the one of the three of us that's really just like, I don't care what freedoms you give me. I can't be in this house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was just like, I need to be out there on my own.
Yeah.
But our parents were always like, you have a home here.
Yeah.
And if we had a dog and we were taking care of it, that it wasn't costing them anything,
Yeah.
that they didn't have to take care of the dog, that the dog wasn't messing up the house or anything, that the dog was
That's
cared
your
for,
dog.
that and the dog was out of the way from them, that made it even easier.
Yeah.
This
Our
isn't
friends
a
be like, oh, yeah, that's your dog. Congratulations.
This is a situation where this young lady has this dog and is enjoying the dog, but the dog is costing the parents money.
Right.
She said, I'm taking care of everything. And
Yeah.
when she said everything, because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, a dog is not cheap.
No.
The training, the food, good God, the food dogs can eat.
They constantly have to eat. I'm
The
like, every day?
grooming, the
Yeah.
vet visits. Look, let me tell you something. A vet,
I was just fighting for my life yesterday, bathing Roni.
look, let me tell you something. These vet visits, always
So
three
expensive.
figures. Always three
Always.
figures. Sometimes can go 4.
Standard.
Sometimes can go 5. Right?
Standard.
All the time. Dogs are not cheap. And they always doing something to hurt themselves to make you have to take them to the vet and be like, what you gonna cost me now? I
Yeah.
got a friend that was just like, I was good. I was chilling. Finances was a breathe. Then my dog tore her ACL. I was like, well, you got to get that fixed. Got
Yeah.
to get it fixed.
Yeah.
How much is that going to run you? Almost 10,000. Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Good God. So this is not
Every
cheap.
time I look, I was like, that's a bill.
That's a bill.
That's a bill.
That's
What
a
you
bill.
just, you got bit by a snake? That's a bill.
And so I feel bad for this young lady that she
Yeah.
doesn't have the safety and comfort
Yeah.
that parents are supposed to provide for their children. The only
Yeah.
good thing that I can say to this young lady is you got less than a year.
Yeah.
Life ain't gonna get no easier. You'll be better for it because though you're gonna have to start behind the 8 ball, it seems like you're a go-getter.
Yeah.
Because just to be able to afford to take care of that dog, odds are you're working right now. So that means you're a grinder. That means you take care of your business. So yeah, no, you're not going to get the benefits that most people have where they get this catapult to start them into adult life. No, you're behind the 8 ball. But in 10 to 15, 20 years, you'll be better for it because you will have gone through all the trials and tribulations. That means whatever hits you in your middle age, you're going to be like, been here, done
Yeah.
that, could get
Yes.
through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, grandma did put you in a bad situation, but grandma was just giving you some love. Grandma was also trying to piss off one of her kids.
Yes.
Whether it was her son or her daughter, she was trying to piss off one of them kids and put you in the middle, of it. So grandma can hold on to the dog until you turn to 18, and then you get the hell up out that house and, do what you got to do. And then if you really want to, go no contact. You just because it's your blood don't mean that you got to have a relationship with them.
That's facts.
Anyway, Jay, what do you want to tell these people out here?
Man, AI is here for you. It was created to help you. You shouldn't fear things that are here to help you. The same way we don't drive a horse and carriage anymore unless you're Amish. You can have a V8, V12, or electric car. You don't even need gas no more. It's just technology moving forward. And the people who are afraid of it are the people who don't want to upskill. And you will be left behind. Like, that's just the reality. If you don't change the way technology, society, culture is changing, this is society, it's politics, it's culture. If you're not forward thinking, you will be left behind. And that's just the reality.
Left behind with no behind. I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock with will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.